Right, I want to make some predictions about where I'll be in terms of physique by the time I'm going to make the 2 year life transformation video, which would be 8 August, the same time that I had the year 1 life transformation video come out. So it will come out on the 20th of August. It will come out on the 20th of August, just like how it did this year round, because that was the day that I decided enough is enough. I start tomorrow. That was the night I decided that I really, really am going to work on changing my ways. I made an effort to change how I was eating April last year, and also when I was in uni the year before last, during the closing stages of 2020 going on to 2021. So that's why I'll upload it I'll upload it on the 20th, because that was the day I really decided that I had enough. By this time next year, I think that I wouldn't have put on an outrageous amount of muscle. I certainly wouldn't have put on anywhere like 10 kilograms of muscle and 0 fat, absolutely not. But I think that I would have certainly become more muscular by the time that another year has passed. I'm not in any cycles at the moment, like going through a bulking or cutting phase, but I have been eating more, to be fair. I haven't been tracking my calories, but I have been tracking. And speaking of, I think that in terms of my life transformation, eating wise, I would have built up the consistency to a consistency in my meal tracking to a point where I'll not only be able to just take pictures basically in the form of videos to show what I'm eating and what it looks like, but I'd also have systems in place to be able to track my meals in a way that I find sustainable. And very generally speaking, I think that by another year's worth of time, I would have just become more efficient in everything. Not only that, but by a year's time, my situation would have drastically changed. I'd have money coming in. I'd be working as a gym instructor, and then I'd be on my way to getting those sweet personal training qualifications. I call them that, even though I don't know what it's like to be a personal trainer at all, because I like the idea of going down that route. I believe that going down that route would be a route in which I take care of my health and I do something I love. That's why I'm calling it sweet. I'd be further on. I would have made more progress in that route by a year's worth of time for sure. First of all, I would have been qualified. I would have got my gym instructor qualifications that I need to be able to be hired as one. And then, as I said, I'll get those. No, I might not have got the personal training qualifications quite yet by a year's worth of time. But if I haven't, I certainly will be working on it. I'm not gonna just wait. I'll become a gym instructor now. I'm just gonna wait, let it settle in before I become a personal trainer. I won't be in that phase for too long. I might allow myself to have a phase where I don't get the personal training qualifications. I might have a small break so that I can learn how to just get used to working first of all, get used to working again, and then be in a place where I can make these videos, the weightlifting logs, the daily logs, do my job, progress down that route, and also have time to do other things in my life. And more importantly of all, which I'm thinking of, is still being able to manage my health to a standard that I like, and further developing how much that I track my health by increasing the amount of ways that I track my health. For example, tracking my blood pressure, getting blood work done, that sort of thing. If I don't start getting my blood work done in a year's time, I don't mind, because it's a slow, lifelong change. This is a slow journey. So if it's within the year 3 mark that I start getting my blood work done, then that's fine, but we'll take it one step at a time, really. Not only do I want to get a blood pressure monitor to increase the amount of ways that I track my health, but I'd also like to make it more convenient to be able to track my health. More specifically, I'd like to get the scale that the gym has. I want to buy that. I want to buy that so that it's more convenient for me to weigh myself every time that I'm doing the weekly health reviews. Instead of having to go into the gym, I'd be at home being able to weigh myself. I'd just be able to take my photo and then go weigh myself. Yeah, it'd be a price. It'd come at a cost, but that's fine. That's fine. It would come at a monetary cost. I really don't mind that, because I see it as a very, very, very valuable purchase, because I'll be able to track my health a lot more easily. I predict that a lot of things, as I grow as a person, and as I would have put my foot in the door in personal training, just a lot of things in my life I would have changed and I would have improved. I might not have got it completely together to a standard that I'd like, but it'd certainly be, I certainly would have much improved. I certainly would be much improved for compared to this point in time by next year for sure, because I just would have put in so much effort. So many days would have passed since today, and around this time, that I would have made so much progress. I don't know how, but we absolutely will see. I mean, money would be coming in first of all, and I'd be doing it in a way that I want. I'd be having money come in a way that I want, and I might even be making passive income sources or working towards them here and there. Sure, they might not be that built, but it'd be more than what I have right now. It'd be more than what I've done right now, for sure. And it's a lifelong journey. It's not just something that you do for like 2 months or something like that. No, that really isn't how it works. When I say this is lifelong, I really do mean that this is lifelong. And regardless of how long it takes, I will put myself in a position that I want to be in a way that I want to do it. If that means that I have to earn it, then so be it. If that means that it takes longer, then so be it. But I would at least be able to reflect on my life, knowing that I went about things how I wanted to go about things past a certain point in my life. I took control of my life rather than letting other people take control of my life. I planned out the trajectory of how I wanted my life to go, and I went down that path. I achieved freedom. I was able to put myself in a position that I wanted to be in, live how I wanted to live. I'll be much closer to that point, and I'll be able to reflect on these times, knowing that I've been able to do that. Regardless of what other people may think, both online and offline, in my life personally, I would be able to reflect knowing that I not only earn my keep, but I have fun living my life the way how I wanted to live it. Being on this life transformation will mean I can get closer to that. I probably would be able to achieve a lot more than expected, than I would expect. But I think right now, to have some metrics to be able to say and explain what I think I'd be able to achieve in a year. I think muscle, I would have built some muscle there. I would have built quite a bit. Maybe not, and maybe not an outrageous amount, but my arms would be slightly bigger, forearms would be slightly bigger, calves would be bigger, quads and hamstrings might not look much bigger, but they'd be able to lift heavily more easily. Joints would be stronger. I'd just be an all-round more built individual, aesthetically speaking, but mentally speaking, I would be that same way. But of course you can't visually see that. You can get an understanding that, I'd be able to get an understanding, and people who are watching that aren't me would be able to get an understanding that my mentality would have changed. The way how I'd go about things would have changed. But I don't know how exactly. I think I've already said this, my eating habits would have improved. By then I would be eating in a more healthy way. My habits would be more healthy, as I would have spent more time creating healthy habits compared to now. I'm on this path, I'm on the path that I want to be I want to be on right now, but by the year 2 life transformation journey video, it would have just been more time since I started going down this path, and therefore more time to be able to build more healthy habits, develop the healthy habits that I already have, and further steer myself in that direction, that path that I want to take. Yeah. There's a lot to mention, really. I think my social health, I predict that my social health would have improved. As I start to be able to do more with my body, more people would just be interested and ask me questions with what I do. And I'd also be speaking to more people, because I'd be working. I'd be a gym instructor working towards becoming a personal trainer. So just off the bat, I'd be speaking to more people. So my social health might also at least slightly improve, and I'd be on my way to making friends that I'd consider are trustworthy. I certainly wouldn't call them friends immediately, but I'd be heading down that route for sure. Just as I become a more healthy individual, I think that I'd attract people that are going down that same route just like me, or people that have gone down that route for a very long time, and there were once people who were once in a position that I was in, willing to talk to me about what they do, and maybe ask for advice here and there, maybe, or be willing to give it if I ask for it. Yeah, I think I would attract these sorts of people, because I'd be that sort of person myself. I know that I don't have malice intentions. My intentions are genuine. I want to train. I want to enjoy myself. I want to have more fun. Speaking of, I probably would have figured out how to have a lot more fun, both with my training and also outside of that. Being on the screens, it seems to fill a void, but I think that it creates one. And I would have built healthier habits around how I go about using technology as well. Just everything, very basically, I would have improved in every area of my life, at least slightly, by a year's worth, by an extra year's worth of time for sure. But the change might not look outrageous. By year 3 going on year 4, it certainly would. But from year 1 to year 2, I'd say that I built a foundation during this first year, but year 2 would now be further building off this foundation. That'd be the path that I'd be taking, because I don't have to make a start anymore. I've made a start. I've been going to the gym on and off for 2 years now, so I've already made a start, and now I'm going to the gym rather consistently, And eventually I'll find calisthenics parks to be able to train and have a lot more fun. Oh, speaking about progress, I can now do pull-ups. I've now gone from plank day 7 when I couldn't even do one push-up to being able to do, pardon me, 5 in a row easily. I might be able to do 20 in a row easily by 1 year's worth of time. Who knows? Who knows? I certainly would have improved my push-up strength because I'm working towards arch push-ups, and in doing so, I have to build a solid push-up foundation. I have to be able to do more push-ups with proper form as my foundation to be able to do archer push-ups. So everything in my life I would have improved in, slowly but surely, in a year's worth of time. But I do think the changes will be slow, and I don't actually mind that. Slow changes, more sustainable, much more easy to make, to keep the changes that I would have made, rather than transforming my body in 2 months, and then just like how I would have transformed my body quickly, I would have lost my progress quickly. I'd be at risk of losing my progress quickly, just like how I gained it quickly. I'm building a very, 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 very solid foundation, and by year 2, I would have absolutely further built off this foundation, but it'd be slow. It'd be really, really slow. Anyway, I notice I'm repeating myself, so I'll leave it at that. Cheers to making more progress. Cheers to having more fun. Cheers to even further improve my mental health. Cheers to learning how to fight, learning how to swim, doing basic stuff, learning how to improve my cooking skills, just improving everything in my life, slowly but surely. Cheers to meeting new people, or cheers to meeting more people that are in the same mind space as me, that are looking to grow in the same way that I'm growing. Cheers to just having a lot of fun. Cheers to creating a lot. Cheers to making it happen, making a lifestyle that I want to live happen. Cheers to that. But anyway, I'm gone. These are my thoughts related to the 2-year life transformation video that I'm gonna have to make, and therefore that time in general. By 1 year's worth of time, I would have made solid progress for sure. But anyway, I'm done. I'll see you lot in the next one. Peace.